Welcome to the video. I'm Sammy Gunner and I'll be reading Fairy Friends. On a nice sunny afternoon in a small village town, a young girl is walking home from school as she lives quite close. Her name is Sophie. She is 9 years old. Sophie lets herself into her house and drops her school bag on the way to the back garden. She continues outside through the back door and into the back garden. She walks towards the bottom of the garden, where an old tree with a hole in the trunk perfect for small birds and animals waits for her. But in this tree, no animals nor birds live. No, 3 tiny fairies named Onyx, Sapphire, and Topaz live there. Sophie knows them, and they are her friends. Sophie walks up to the tree. She looks into the hole and in the tree and sees the 3 fairies looking back at her. The 3 fairies smile at the sight of Sophie as they are happy to see her. They love playing together. The 3 fairies fly out of the tree and flutter around Sophie. They say hello to Sophie at the same time. They are always very excited to see Sophie. Sophie smiles and says hello to them. Topaz and Sapphire land next to Sophie. They are very small. Sapphire doesn't think and decides to cast a spell on Sophie. Onyx gasps as she sees the young fairy casting a spell. Sophie screamed as she shrinks. She looks up to the sky as everything around her gets bigger. Onyx is angry with Sapphire, while Sophie looks around scared, confused and unsure what had happened. Sapphire is looking down, knowing she had done something wrong. She feels ashamed and does not like Onyx's disappointment in her. Onyx crosses her arms. Sapphire tries to explain why she had done the spell, saying she wanted Sophie to play with them as their tiny size. Sophie is getting upset and scared looking at everything being so big around her. She says she doesn't want to be so small. She can't even fly like them. Onyx asks Sapphire to return Sophie to her regular size. Sophie is happy about returning to normal. Sapphire nods in agreement and starts to cast the reverse spell. Sophie remains unchanged and confused. The reverse spell had not worked. Sapphire looked at her hands, wondering why didn't it work? The reason for this is that Sapphire is a young fairy, and she used most of her magic casting the original spell. Onyx explains, "You must have trained your magic for today, but there is a special stone in the garden that can restore your powers temporarily." Since Sapphire had cast the original spell, she is the only one to reverse it as well. "Sophie cannot wait for your magic to restore overnight because her family will worry about where she is." Sapphire says she'd use the stone, but Onyx tells them the stone is huge and cannot be moved. They would have to travel to the other side of the garden to find it, and that Sapphire must be touching the stone during the spell. The journey for the stone would take them a few hours, as they have to walk all the way because Sophie can't fly and the stone can't be lifted. The skies become dark as the hours pass. Onyx holds Sophie's hand while the young fairies follow. She leads them to where the special stone is located. They walk for hours through the long grass, a giant field of flowers. Then they must climb a huge dirt hill. The magic stone is a clear crystal, half buried in the dirt at the bottom of the hill. Sapphire and Topaz run down to the stone, flapping their wings as they go. Sophie walks down with Onyx as the ground is crumbling with every step, as Sophie cannot step as lightly as the fairies hovering down. Sapphire flies to the top of the stone and stands facing the others. She casts the reverse spell, and Sophie goes back to her normal size. She sits on the grass. She is tired after their hike across the garden. She looks up at the sky. Sophie smiles and lies on her back for a minute to catch her breath, while the fairies fly around her happily. Sophie sees the sky getting darker, so she gets up and runs to the house after waving to the fairies hurriedly as she goes. The fairies fly back to the hole in the tree, waving to Sophie as she goes inside, closing the back door. The 3 fairies duck down into the hole in the tree and disappear. The end.